dulce aroma. Today we're going to be making a really beautiful, very easy melt and pour natural loofah soap. This soap is gorgeous. I love the look of it. I love using it as well, particularly on my hands and feet. We've had very good feedback from customers that really love buying it. Men really love using the soap. So as you can see, we have two little designs here that we're going to show you. So this first one is the one we'll be making for the project. It is a lemon citrus fragranced natural loofah soap using a really beautiful flower silicone mold. And this black one here is an activated charcoal, a little bit more of a simple design soap, which appeals to a lot of men. This flower, I think, makes such a gorgeous combination with the natural loofah. It looks a little bit more delicate and makes a wonderful gift. But again, it's totally up to you. This is very easy to customize design and project. You can use any mold that you want, as long as, of course, the loofah fits inside that mold. But you can also cut up the loofah, so it's totally up to you. Anyway, so let's have a look at the ingredients for this project. 100 grams of clear melt and pour base, a natural loofah sponge between 1.5 to 2 centimeters in width, rubbing alcohol, a quarter teaspoon natural fragrance, we're using lemon citrus, a quarter teaspoon of mica colorant, we're using apple green, and a cling film to wrap up your soap, preferably biodegradable, and twine, which is optional, just to hang your soap. Awesome, so this is what our melt and pour clear base looks like. Awesome, this is the natural loofah sponge. We buy this in like a big roll that we cut up using a bread knife. So yeah, you can find these at lots of, drugstores or lots of grocery stores sell them as well in the soap section. So this is really awesome. I love that it's a natural product, and it's always best to use natural things on your body. So yeah, next is our rubbing alcohol. We prefer to use this in a spray bottle because it makes everything a lot easier. We've got the natural fragrance. Here we're using the lemon citrus fragrance, which is really refreshing. Next is our mica colorant, which is a powdered colorant. To dissolve this, you use the rubbing alcohol. It is such a wonderful color. As you can see, it's a metallic color. It's got a little bit of a shimmer, which mostly shows in clear base. So that's why we've chosen to do a clear base instead of a white base, because if you use this colorant in a white base, often you can't see the glitter. So yeah, that's why we've chosen to do a clear base today. This is our gorgeous mold. I absolutely love this mold. It fits the loofah in just perfectly. We bought this one locally, but I'll have a look online and see if I can pop a link down below to Amazon where you can find the same mold. It has different designs too, so you can mix things up. Have different flowers, which I think is really cute. So to begin this project, we need a knife because we're going to cut up our melt and pour base to little cubes. As we're melting this in the microwave, we need to make sure that the little cubes are small enough to melt quickly. One thing that is super important when you're making melt and pour projects is to be aware that melt and pour base must not be overheated. So we've made many mistakes overheating it in the past, but if you do overheat your melt and pour base will sweat. So when you complete your soap, you'll find a few days later that it'll have a whole lot of little bubbles around it, like that appear to be water, and it basically just ruins the composition of the clear base. So if you're going to heat it up in the microwave, heat it up in 10-second bursts at a time. Figure out what the best amount of time is for your microwave. Ours works at about 20 to 30 seconds. That is more than enough to melt our base in the cup that we use. We use a microwavable clear glass cup that we like, and that heats up super quickly as well. So some microwaves you'll need to use it for less amount of time, some a little bit longer. So just test out your microwave, figure out how much you need to heat it up, and just be very conscious of that. Awesome. So we're going to weigh up our base, and here we have 100 grams weighed out, and now we're going to pop those in the microwave. Okay, our first step is to spray rubbing alcohol on our mold. This just makes sure that the mold is disinfected. And yeah, we want everything to be really nice and clean. The clear base must have a little bit of alcohol as well, just to make sure that it is actually clear and not cloudy. Sometimes if you've got some kind of contaminant on your mold, it can come out a little bit funny if your mold isn't clean. So here we have our melted base and our mica, which we're dissolving with rubbing alcohol. This mica does go everywhere if you use a spray bottle, so be really, really careful of how you spray this. You don't want to waste your materials. You also don't really want to be breathing it in too much. It is a natural product and it'll be fine to, if you do inhale a little bit, you're fine. But yeah, just be cautious of that and be careful. Awesome. So here we're spraying some rubbing alcohol, putting it in our base, grabbing a little teaspoon and giving it a good stir. Be aware that some micas actually start the setting process of the melt and pour base. Luckily this one is not too bad, but sometimes if you put your colorant in, you'll find that it will set straight away. So make sure that you know how your mica works and your melt and pour base, so that you're not stuck with solid melt and pour base before you've even had the chance to pour it into your mold. So we're going to spray our loofah with enough rubbing alcohol, and we're going to put our fragrance in our melt and pour base. We like to go a little bit heavy-handed with our fragrance because we love it when our soaps smell very strongly. So here we've got a little bit extra. It smells so lovely. This fragrance is gorgeous. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the bottom half of the mold first. We'll place the loofah in. Like so. Lovely. Looks beautiful. Then we'll top it up with the leftover base that we've got heated. Make sure to not leave any air bubbles underneath your loofah. And lovely, that's pretty much the whole process. When carrying silicone molds, I highly, highly recommend, because we've had many accidents, so it's better to let you know to avoid you experiencing the same thing. If you've got a mold like this that is a little bit flimsy, make sure to put maybe a chopping board or some kind of card underneath it that will hold it, so that when you do go to transport it, it doesn't bend and you don't spill a whole lot of melt and pour everywhere. Not fun. Not fun to spend a lot of time on a project and then to lose your ingredients. So yes, before you put it in the fridge, which is what we do to make it set a little bit faster, we spray it with rubbing alcohol. That will pop any of the bubbles that are on the surface, and we'll make sure that the look of it on the back is a little bit more polished and fancy. Awesome. So carry this very gently over to your fridge, or you can leave it out to cool down room temperature. That totally works, just takes a little bit longer. Awesome. So now our soap has been refrigerated and is all set to go. And look at that. It's so cute. I love it. Oh my goodness. So lovely. And the smell is just stunning. I love that if you use a clear base, you can see the details of the loofah, which customers really like to look at. It's really gorgeous. Awesome. So just trim the little edges if you have any excess edges with a knife, just to make sure you don't have any sharp edges on your soap, which is not always that fun. Cool. And now we're going to put a little hole in our soap. Make sure that it's underneath the loofah, so actually inside the loofah. That will avoid your soap breaking. So as you use the soap, when it has a string through it, if you pull on it too much, sometimes it can actually rip the string out. But with this natural loofah design, the loofah holds it on there. So that is really, really cool for this design. And then you can keep it hung in the shower, which of course will make your soap last longer because it won't have water all over it all the time. Here it is. So we're going to use Twine. That little metal rod that we used is actually from a old coffee plunger that broke. But you can be resourceful, look around the house if you have maybe old kebab sticks and stuff like that are metal that you can heat up. They work really well. So here we're using Twine. This twine is a little bit difficult to make a knot when you're wearing gloves. So I'm not going to do that right now, just because my gloves will get stuck. But this is the completed project. It is so cute. And again, as you would have noticed through this process, it's a very simple design, very customizable. To complete the whole process, which I recommend for any melt and pour project, wrap it up as soon as you can. Keep it nice and fresh. Sometimes, it can change colors depending, on the area that you've got in your house. It can go a little bit yellow. So just wrap it up, keep it fresh, and always tell your customers or family and friends to use their soap as soon as they can. These soaps are made with natural ingredients, so they don't have a lot of preservatives. You can find natural preservatives to keep your melt and pour base going longer. So you can totally find that online or from your local soap suppliers. But yeah, so use it as soon as you can. This is such a lovely project, easy to do, very fun to make. We hope that you enjoyed this video. We hope that you enjoyed making this project with us. If you did remake this project, please let us know. You can either put it up on your socials and tag us, or use the hashtag soapsdulcearoma. We would love to check it out. Please comment down below if you have any tips or tricks that you think will help us or any of our community, and like and subscribe. Share these videos with your friends. We put up new videos every week, either in Spanish or in English. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Bye!